Basse-Terre, Basse-Terre, bæss-TAIR French, bæst-TAIR Guadeloupean Creole, Bast is a commune in the French overseas department of Guadeloupe, in the Lesser Antilles. It is also the prefecture capital city of Guadeloupe. The city of Basse-Terre is located on Basse-Terre Island, the western half of Guadeloupe. Although it is the administrative capital, Basse-Terre is only the second largest city in Guadeloupe behind Pointe-à-Pitre. Together with its urban area, it had 44,864 inhabitants in 2012, 11,534 of whom lived in the city of Basse-Terre proper. Geography. Basse-Terre is located in the southwestern corner of the Basse-Terre portion of the island of Guadeloupe, which is itself located some 100 km north of Dominica and some 450 km southeast of Puerto Rico. The commune is at the foot of the Soufriere volcano and is connected to the rest of the island by 3 main roads. The Nun, which exits the commune in the south on the coast and continues inland to Gerbier, then all the way around the coast to Pointe-à-Pitre on Grande-Terre. The N2, which goes north along the coast to Vieux Habitants and continues all the way around the coast to join the Nun at Baie-Mahault. The N3, which traverses the length of the commune and continues to St. Claude inland. Basse-Terre has a maritime station that receives cruise ships and has a ferry service to the Isles des Saints. The commune is mostly urban with some farmland in the northeast and northwest. The different districts of Basse-Terre are Agincourt, also St. Claude, Basse-du-Bourg, Carmel, Dismarais, also St. Claude Galaude, Morne-Charlotte, Morne-Vaches, also St. Claude, Petit Paris, Quintade, Rivière des Pierres, La Rue-Malin, Saint-Francois, Sur-le-Morne, and Versailles. Climate. Basse-Terre lies at a transitional point between a tropical rainforest climate and a tropical monsoon climate. While Basse-Terre does feature a drier stretch from January through March, the town does not quite have a dry season month. The town's driest month, February, sees on average roughly 60 mm of precipitation. A monthly precipitation average below 60 mm is considered dry season month, as is the norm with cities with these two climate types. Basse-Terre features relatively consistent temperatures throughout the year. Toponymy. The name comes from the mariners' vocabulary of the 17th century, which designated a land or coast sheltered from the wind, as opposed to Cape Sterre, Cape to the east of land. History. Native American origins. Before Basse-Terre became a French town, it was a village of American Indian horticulturists and potters. The village was on the site of the present Basse-Terre Cathedral, where archaeological excavations found human remains and other evidence of occupation during the restoration of the cathedral. In 2005, on the lower part of a Native American garbage dump, excavations have uncovered a new dump containing large amounts of archaeological material, food waste, ceramics, stone tools and shell tools, ornaments, charcoal, and a tomb. Birth of the town of Basse-Terre, 1635–1649. In 1635, when it was part of St. Kitts and Nevis, an expedition was seeking a place of lasting presence in Guadeloupe. The operation was entrusted to Charles Léonard du L'Olive and Jean du Plessis d'Assonville, together with 4 missionaries and 550 colonists. The landing took place on 28 June 1635 at Pointe-à-Pitre, far from Basse-Terre. Famine pushed the party to the south near the present town of Vieux Fort in early 1636. The relationship between Native Americans and colonists degraded quickly. Léonard then began a bloody war against the locals. In 1660, a treaty forced him to retreat to Dominica and St. Vincent. The war forced him to build a fort, today Fort Olive at Vieux Fort. In 1640, Jean Aubert succeeded Léonard as the government of the island, and he soon left the site to settle on the left bank of the Gallion, which is the current Gerbier Marina. In 1643, Charles Howell du Petit-Pré replaced Aubert, and in 1649, he left the marina site for the right bank of the Gallion and built a fort. Some religious built the first church, now the Church of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, shortly afterwards, and the city was organized around the chapel and from the fort to the River of Herbs. This was the beginning of Basse-Terre. Birth of the town of St. Francois circa 1680. British occupation 1759–1763 and tentative revival 1763–1789. On 23 January 1759, a British expeditionary force captured the island. Guadeloupe was occupied by the British until 10 February 1763, when it was returned to France in the Treaty of Paris. Basse-Terre experienced a resurgence of activity despite the founding of Pointe-à-Pitre in 1764, a town in a better position to receive the ocean swell, and despite a fire in September 1782. The town was partially redesigned around 1787. Revolutionary period 1789–1802. The French Revolution reached the island and therefore Basse-Terre in September 1789. In 1793, counter-revolutionary planters agreed to cede the island to the British. They captured Guadeloupe, then governed by Victor Collot, on 22 April 1794, and appointed Thomas Dundas as the new governor. As early as May 1794, Victor Hughes, sent by the National Convention in Paris, managed to recapture the colony and abolish slavery. The French dislodged the cannon in December 1794 and installed a guillotine. The city was the scene of military operations conducted by General Richepince, who was sent by Napoleon to re-establish slavery against Louis d'Ilgrès in 1802. D'Ilgrès retreated to the fort on 20 May 1802 and abandoned it on 22 May. Difficult renewal 1802–1870. The town was occupied from 6 February 1810 to 30 May 1814, and again from 10 August 1815 to July 1816. For over 20 years Basse-Terre suffered from the effects of these disturbances. Only after 4 hurricanes in 1816, 1821, 1825, and 1844 did Basse-Terre think of rehabilitating the construction and development of the Champ d'Arbad by building a military hospital, now Gerville Reach High School, a bishopric, sanitation, and expansion of the city by creating new neighborhoods such as renewed activity 1870–1976. From 1870 the commune began to recover and inaugurated its town hall in 1899. It was the first city in Guadeloupe to be electrified in 1913. The impetus came from Alitur, who arrived after the cyclone of September 1928 and built the courthouse, the general council, and a market in the 1930s. A port was built as wooden quays had previously served as a port from 1961 to 1964. The boulevard was built in 1962 to serve the port. It was extended in 1964 and again in 1965 along what was once a pebble and black sand beach that ran along the coast. On 26 November 1970, 1.5 inches of rain, 38.1 mm fell in a minute, the heaviest ever recorded. Cyclonic conditions repeatedly ravaged the development of this boulevard in 1989, with Hurricane Hugo and Hurricane Marilyn in 1995, Hurricane Lenny in 1999, and Hurricane Omar in 2008. Since 1976. In 1976, 73,600 inhabitants of the town were evacuated from 15 August to 18 November 1976 due to the high activity of the Soufriere volcano. Some evacuees never returned and moved to Jarry. For 20 years, the town center was depopulated in favor of peri-urban areas or neighboring towns such as Bailiff, St. Claude, and Gerbier despite attempts at renewal. Heraldry. Administration. List of successive mayors. Mayors from 1945. Judicial and administrative bodies. The commune of Basse-Terre has a courthouse, which was built in 1934 by architect Ali Georges Tur, and which also houses the Basse-Terre Court of Appeal, a tribunal d'instance, a high court, an administrative court, and an industrial tribunal. The Bar Association of the Bar of Guadeloupe is also established in the commune. Basse-Terre benefits from the presence of a chamber of bailiffs, a chamber of notaries, and a chamber of commerce. The prefecture is also present, and the city is the seat of the urban community of South Basse-Terre. There is a police station and a prison. Twinning. Basse-Terre has twinning associations with Pondicherry, India since 1981. Demography. In 2017, the commune had 10,058 inhabitants. The total number of households in the commune in 2017 was 4,732. Since 2007, the population has been in decline. Education. Health. Medical institutions in Basse-Terre are among the largest on the island. In 2012, the hospital in Basse-Terre had 235 beds, organized into 4 areas: emergency, surgery, enlarged internal medicine, obstetrics and pediatrics, and had a staff of 850 doctors, hospital and administrative staff. The commune also has a health center. Town planning. Urban morphology. Over the centuries, the commune spread along a street formerly named Grande Rue. The river of Herbes separates 2 early nuclei of houses which now correspond to the districts of Carmel and St. Francis. The town developed on a narrow coastal strip between the Caribbean Sea and the first hills of the long mountain ridge that divides the island in two. The volcanic massif of the Soufriere is to the northeast, and the mountains of Caraibes and Houlemont are to the southeast, which enclose the commune in lush greenery. The city itself stretches over 3 km in spite of a rugged terrain intersected by ravines. Communal territory. The boundaries of the commune have varied over the centuries. The colonial decree of 20 September 1837 endorsed the creation of communes, endorsed on 12 November 1789, and set the powers of the mayor and city council. The territory of Basse-Terre was previously split into 2 intramuros, which was the urban part and its inner periphery, and extramuros that extended to the slopes of the Soufriere. Although this terminology is used, the city has never been surrounded by walls. In 1837, 2 new communes were created by cutting extramuros from Basse-Terre, and the future St. Claude and Gerbier were created. A decision of the Municipal Council of 15 March 1839. By 16 October 1953, the commune has grown and included the neighborhoods of Rivière des Pierres by the sea, as well as Pintade, Tillac, Morne-Vaches, Desmarais, Gillard, and Dillot. Housing. The total number of dwellings in the commune is 6,143 2017. 77.0% are primary residences. The number of second homes is 80.8%, and the number of vacancies is 22.2%, which is above the national average of 8%. Economy. The area of the commune has been greatly reduced since the end of the 19th century, and its mountainous terrain does not allow it to develop large-scale farming. Only the Bologna distillery, a rum producer, remains significant and is one of the jewels of local production shared with the commune of Bailiff. The city, as capital of the department, hosts major administration establishments as well as the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Basse-Terre. There has been development of the economic sector through improving the reception of cruise ships and passengers in the port of Basse-Terre. The first stone for the ferry terminal was laid on 27 December 2013. The modern terminal has a capacity of 100 people with areas for ticketing and restaurants, was opened on 2 October 2015. Employment. The unemployment rate in 2017 for the town was 40.7% out of a total workforce of 4,286 individuals. Division of employees into type of activity 2017. Culture and heritage. The commune has a very large number of buildings and sites that are registered as historical monuments. Some of the most interesting are shown below. Civil heritage. Fort d'Ilgrès, formerly Fort St. Charles, built by Charles Howell in 1649. Thereafter many governors expanded it and made substantial changes. It was taken and retaken several times. It had several names: Fort Howell 1650–1794, renamed Fort Matilda by the British 1794, Fort Richepance 30 March 1803–1810, again Fort Matilda 1810, 1814, and 1815, 1816, again Fort Richepance 1816, 19. Classified as an historical monument by order of 21 November 1977. The Gertie Archimed Museum opened in 1984 in the house where the lawyer and politician Gertie Archimed lived. The town hall was built in 1889. For the tercentenary celebrations of linking the West Indies to France, Georges Roner made 7 paintings to decorate the building between 1934 and 1936. The 7 paintings in the town hall are registered as historical objects: a painting portrait of Victor Schoucher, 1937, a painting Horseman talking to a woman and small boy, 1937, T7, a painting Workman carrying a hand of bananas, 1937, a painting Two fishermen shaking their nets with a woman, 1937, a painting Two fishermen shaking their nets, 1937, a painting Basse-Terre Bay, 1937, a painting Women Talking Under a Tree, 1937, 37. The courthouse buildings were all built by Alitur. It is used for all of the courts of the prefecture, including the Court of Appeal and High Court. It is classified as historical monuments by order of 15 December 1997. The market clock located inside the city spice market dates from 1932 and is also the work of architect Alitur. The Lycée Général et Technologique d'Urville Reach was built in the first quarter of the 19th century when it housed a military hospital. In the 1950s, this was converted into the school. It was classified as an historical monument by order of 15 January 1979. The Regional Council of Guadeloupe was recently built 1991–1993 and houses the offices of regional councillors and the president of the regional executive. The General Council of Guadeloupe was built on the site of the former General Council building. It has been listed as an historical monument since 1997. The Prefecture of Guadeloupe on the site of the former military hospital destroyed by fire in 1794. It was a military district which was formerly called the Barracks of Orleans in the 19th century. The current building was built by Alitur between 1932 and 1935 and was called the Palace of Orleans or the Palace of the Governor. It was not until 1951 that the prefectural administration settled there. It was classified as an historical monument by order of 15 December 1997. Religious heritage. The Cathedral of Our Lady of Guadeloupe was built over a wooden chapel that was built in the 18th century when it was called St. Francis Church. It was not until 1877 that it was dedicated to Our Lady of Guadeloupe. The cathedral was listed as an historical monument on 17 June 1975. Its annex buildings are the seat of the Diocese of Basse-Terre and Pointe-à-Pitre. The bell tower of the cathedral was built in 1837 and recently renovated and is separated on the back of the cathedral without. It was classified as an historical monument on 19 May 2006. The Church of Our Lady of Mount Carmel was built by the first colonists and more precisely by monks in the 17th century. It marked foundation of Basse-Terre. It was classified as an historical monument on 20 April 2006. The church contains several items that are registered as historical objects: a cabinet 18th century, a processional cross 18th century, a monstrance 1704, a funeral plaque for Jean-Louis Honore de Hesmevy 18th century, a funeral plaque for Francois Charles de Berlemac 18th century, a sculpture 18th century. The St. Antoine Monastery was founded in 1897 as a charitable hospice and property of the St. Vincent de Paul congregation. It was listed in 2007 as an historical monument. Festivals. Festivals. The Auditorium Jerome Clory and a theatre with 500 seats called a l'Archipel. The festival patronale on 12 December. The Festival of Carmel on 16 July. Sports facilities in the commune. Sports Palace of Rivière des Piers 1,600 seats. Stadium of Rivière des Piers 4,000 seats. Intercommunal swimming pool at Rivière des Piers. Félix Sebao Stadium. Multi-sports halls, they are used by sports clubs. The Signy Noir football. La Gauloise football. The Racing Club of Basse-Terre football. The Étoile du Carmel football. The Basse-Terre Rugby Club bæstɛʁ, rugby. Media. The TV channel Guadeloupe and Radio Guadeloupe are available in the commune. Picture gallery. Notable people linked to the commune. Charles Howell du Petit-Pré, founder of Basse-Terre in 1649. Jacques-Nicolas Gobert, born in Basse-Terre on 22 May 1760, a major general in the French Revolution. Jean-Jacques Ambert, 1765–1851, general of the armies of the Republic and the Empire, born in Saint-Cyr-Lot, died in Basse-Terre. Louis-Joseph Amer de Boule du Chariol, 1769–1850, general of the armies of the Republic and the Empire. Louis Dilgrès, born on 2 August 1766 at Saint-Pierre, Martinique, and died on 28 May 1802 at Metauba in Guadeloupe. Guadeloupe hero, commandant of Basse-Terre in 1802. Antoine Richepance, born at Metz on 25 March 1770, named chief of the expedition to Guadeloupe by Napoleon Bonaparte. He embarked in 1801 with order to quell the uprising of Louis Dilgrès. He succeeded, but having contracted yellow fever, he died on 3 September 1802 at the age of 32 years at Basse-Terre. He is buried in Fort Dilgrès. Ferdinand Joseph El Herminier, born in 1802 at Basse-Terre and died in 1866 at Pointe-à-Pitre, botanist and zoologist. Louis Mathieu, born on 2 February 1817 at Basse-Terre and died on 4 November 1874, slave cooper and print worker, MP for Guadeloupe, 1848–1849. Léon Hennique, born at Basse-Terre on 4 November 1850 and died in Paris on 25 December 1935. Camille Mortenal, 1859–1930, ship's captain, student with exceptional ability in mathematics. Elie Blancourt, born at Basse-Terre on 5 May 1896, MP for Aisne and a fervent resistance fighter during the Second World War. Bertie Archimede, born on 26 April 1909 at Morne-Îlot, Guadeloupe, died at Basse-Terre on 15 August 1980, the first woman admitted to the bar in Guadeloupe in 1939 and deputy to Mayor Elie Chauffrin 1953–1956. Paul Niger, real name Albert Beville, writer, administrator, and militant, born on 21 December 1915 at Basse-Terre and died on 22 June 1962. Joseph Aucourt, footballer, born at Basse-Terre on 12 January 1927, played for RC Basse-Terre and FC Girondins de Bordeaux 1952–1955. Guy Hatchai, former French footballer, born on 18 March 1934 at Basse-Terre, Guadeloupe, played for CS Sedan Ardens and Olympique Lyonnais. Jacques Rousseau, French athlete, born on 10 March 1951 at Basse-Terre, champion of Europe in long jump in 1978. Willie Salcido, born at Basse-Terre in 1961, pianist, author, composer, producer, arranger, major composer of Caribbean songs for over 20 years. Luc Sonner, born on 15 September 1962, at Basse-Terre, international French footballer, played for AS Monaco and FC Metz and consulted at Canal Plus Canal plus, Canal plus, Canal plus, Canal plus, Canal plus. Yveline Ilian, born on 24 March 1963 at Basse-Terre, French athlete specializing in 400 meters. Tania Saint Val, singer born in 1965 in the commune. Alain de Moto, born in 1967 in the commune, Guadeloupean unionist and spokesman for Lienage contre Piwafatasian in Creole, or LKP Collective Against Outrageous Exploitation, leading member of the 2009 French Caribbean general strikes, which occurred in January and February 2009. Marie-José Perec, born at Basse-Terre on 9 May 1968, triple Olympic champion, in 1992 at the 1992 Summer Olympics at Barcelona in the 400 meters and twice at the 1996 Summer Olympics in Atlanta in the 400 meters and 200 meters. Jean-Pierre Cyprien, footballer born at Basse-Terre on 12 February 1969, notably won the jersey for Olympique de Marseille. Jane Faustin, born on 27 December 1973 at Basse-Terre, Guadeloupean singer and former member of the group Zouk Machine. Roni Marshes, born on 4 August 1980 at Basse-Terre, racing cyclist,